Hey guys, it is Kieran Kyo, the Keoster here for CKTV on YouTube, and I'm just bringing you a show tonight. It is Keosters WrestleFest, wrestling prime times here on YouTube. I'm just after waking up there last night. I had a session, a wrestling training session, and I was actually here in Letterkenny, and I was having great sessions there with my friends. Wrestling buddies, and we're really doing pretty good. I think I am actually surprising myself, coming on very well with it. I've been doing it now about 5 months or so. Really getting into it. After Christmas there, I've done about 4 sessions since Christmas, back into it big time, and hoping by maybe March or April, maybe I'll get put on a show, maybe on a spot, or maybe a small part in a show or something, but that's the plan, to get there eventually, to be on shows here in Ireland. Hopefully there's a new promotion starting as well. Might be actually getting involved in a wee documentary about it in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But my trainer, my wrestling trainer, who's a 10-year pro at the wrestling, he is of course Stephen Campbell, known in the game as Campbell Cray. Well, he is actually starting a new promotion along with a few other wrestlers, and it's called CAW, Complete Anarchy Wrestling, and that's based in Omagh, Letterkenny, and they do some shows in Strabane, I think, and maybe a bit in Belfast. But that would be the circuit, the organisation I'd be involved with starting off, and I'm really enjoying it, and such a great trainer as well. Myself and Declan and Patrick and a few others are getting into it, and we're going to be meeting up actually this Sunday with other wrestlers from the promotion. I'm going to meet them and be able to train with them, so that's going to be really good fun as well. But thank you for joining me on the show tonight anyway. Just a wee intro about that, and I'm shattered all over, aching and pain, but it's the passion that keeps me at it. But it's tough going, believe me. Nothing fake about having to learn the ropes and take the bumps. But coming up right now, I'm going to have a little segment here on YouTube, Keosters Wrestling Prime Times, WrestleFest. We've got a few clips coming your way, and we're going to have two segments from the past in pro wrestling, and also going to have 2 movie trailers that involving wrestlers, and also going to show you a couple of the figures from years gone by. So the first one now I'm going to look at is we're going to have a look at this trailer from a movie from back in 1986, I believe, and really fun film, really weird, out there movie, just totally crazy. But tonight's segments, by the way, are featuring, we're going to have a special focus on 2 of the biggest rivals ever from the early to mid 80s in wrestling, and 2 of the guys that came together, worked off each other so well, to the illustrious heel against the illustrious babyface. Heel meaning bad guy, babyface meaning good guy. Was of course Roddy Piper being the heel, Hulk Hogan being the babyface at the time. They had great matches such as the War to Settle the Score, the Brawl to End It All, both on MTV at the time in 1984. Went on for the WrestleMania era, starting at 85. That was of course on closed circuit. Then of course became pay-per-view over the years, but anyway, that went on, and the rivalry went on. But anyway, they had movies as well, and their movies were, I suppose most of them were B movies, but there's a few of them came to big prominence. First one I'm going to feature is Piper's movie. So the first segment, this is Roddy Piper, 1986, 87, around that time. This is Hell Comes to Frogtown.
In the future, after the big war, there will come a time to rebuild, and a need for a new and special kind of soldier.
This man is carrying a loaded weapon.
Prepare to meet the next great American hero.
That's where you come in.
Are you serious?
His name is
Hell. Sam Hell.
Never heard of you.
We're going to Frogtown.
And this is the adventure he's been waiting for.
We're gonna get him out, and then you're gonna get him pregnant.
And if anyone's got a chance in hell of rescuing the virgins from the evil clutches of Toady
It's a miracle.
Right. Let's go.
and escaping from Frogtown,
Go, 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 go!
it's Sam.
Holy shit!
Be there for the action, the adventure,
Sam! What are you doing?
and be there for the dance of the three snakes.
Dance or die? We're all gonna die.
When hell comes to Frogtown. Starring Roddy Piper as Sam.
You are one weird dude.
Sandal Bergman as Nurse Spangle.
Wired to blow.
Hell comes to Frogtown.
Eat lead, froggies!
So that's a really out there, weird movie. Hell Comes to Frogtown, starring Roddy Piper, and that was, of course, the movie we're featuring from him tonight. Second feature now, the trailer for another movie that was pretty fun. It wasn't really, it started off as a movie, then became a TV series in the mid-90s, around 93, 94. And then, of course, it spawned two sequels, the movies. There was two more sequels to the movies, but the series, I think it ran for 2 seasons. And it was, of course, Thunder in Paradise. And it starred Hulk Hogan. He brought in an array of other wrestlers from the WCW years in later seasons. In the WWF, he started off when he was in WWF. He took a hiatus in 93. And he went in and started doing movie work and series. And done this series, Thunder in Paradise, which was like Baywatch, but it was a different idea. It was like Hurricane was the guy that was he was like a detective, or kind of he was like a bounty hunter on the shore kind of thing, and him and his partner would go out and search the shore for any trouble and stuff. So he was, of course, Hurricane. I forget the second name, but it was I really enjoyed it at the time. Of course, I was at a very impressionable age when I was about 7 or 8, but it was out around 93 to 95, Thunder in Paradise. It was a lot of fun, and it was like something you'd watch before or after Baywatch on a Saturday, I think it was, and it was a really fun show. And we're going to look at the intro to that show actually right now.
There's a hurricane blowing in over the water, waiting in anticipation for the action to begin. Baby, I wanna hear
So yeah, that show really spawned 2 sequels. I remember the Giant Gonzalez featured in the first movie as one of the henchmen for the bad guys in it, and he was, of course, he came to prominence in WWF at the time. he had a fight with Hulk Hogan in the movie, but then of course was against the Undertaker in wrestling and stuff, and it was a big deal because it was a good way to bring it in. It seemed over the years when Hogan had a big film or in No Holds Barred in '89, he brought in Zeus and then became part of wrestling. Zeus became part of it. Tony Lister, of course, who was a big star actor anyway. And then he brought in Undertaker in '91, and of course Mark Calloway featured in Suburban Commando, Hogan's movie, and then brought him to face Hogan in '91. He came in 1990, but he fought Hogan in '91 after the movie came out, so that was interesting. So they've done it again with Giant Gonzalez, not really mentioning it or anything, but he, of course, came into a segment with Hogan in the movie, like a fight scene, and then, of course, he was in wrestling as well at the time. El Gigante, of course, known as George Gonzalez in real life. But, that was Thunder in Paradise, which the movies I felt were pretty disappointing, the last two, but the first one I thought was fun. A lot of people look at it as one of the horrible movies featuring wrestlers these days, but I just, it is what it is, and I enjoy it. But also, the series I thought was pretty good series as well. There was, of course, I'm going to, in another episode, I might actually allude to Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Randy Savage, the Macho Man, actually feature during the WCW days in '95. They actually feature on an episode of Baywatch. So that's another one to look out for. I'll review that on another video. Okay, well, moving on from the movies featuring wrestlers to segments in shows. So we're going to look first at a promo segment from a promo segment from 2005. So it's going to be we're not going to go for 80s and 90s stuff in the promo segments featuring Piper and Hogan. We're actually going to go for later stuff. So 2005 was the year, and WrestleMania 21 was the time. Khosrow Davari was the guy that was causing a lot of trouble in WWE. It was just a few years after the whole 9/11 thing, and it was a whole load of stuff going on with all that stuff, which today wouldn't fly at all because of politically correctness, but whatever. But just 16 years ago, this was used as a storyline. So Eugene, who was playing, also something that wouldn't fly today, another PC subject there, but Eugene was a character that was kind of, not 100% kind of, but unfortunately, no, it wasn't a good storyline. It wasn't really a good character, but anyway, he was getting in trouble, and Davari was beating him up and stuff in the ring in the middle of WrestleMania, and it was like a little segment. Next thing, Real American hits, Hogan comes out, and let's have a look at it.
And if I wasn't given WrestleMania moments, I was gonna create one myself.
Uh-oh. Oh! No, wait a minute! The cheap shot by Mahomes was Eugene, and now Davari away at Eugene, and for what reason? WrestleMania moment, and he was going to create. And the camel caught the fly.
Okay, so that was that cool segment from WrestleMania 21, WrestleMania Goes Hollywood, and that was, of course, Hulk Hogan saving the day, saving Eugene from Khosrow Davari in that great segment. and real fun indeed. And very, very fun segment, that one. The JR on the mic, of course, makes it even better there. So, great show. Okay, coming up next now, we're going to look at a segment featuring the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. And he's on Piper's Pit after he done sporadic Piper's Pits over even when he wasn't a wrestler. He still brought back Piper's Pit and always was great on the mic. So you have to use a good stick man when it comes to TV segments in wrestling to get the ratings up, because he always brought back the legends for this, because they were always great promos. There was no scripts as such back in the day. They just flew, said what they wanted. When they have talent, they're able to put good stuff out there. So Piper was always relied on to put good stuff out there on the mic. Controversial, but good. So here he is talking to the legend of that time, somebody who was the biggest star. He was the cover guy. He was like a Hogan of the 2000s, and he was a big deal. Here's John Cena on Piper's Pit.
I'm trying to help you, bud.
You know what? I can see it on your face. You must have.
Give him a chance.
That's what you're trying to do. Let me guess. You saw Survivor Series.
Okay.
You saw Madison Square Garden.
No, wait. Let me just interject something. When all the people were yelling to The Rock to rock bottom you, and he did, they came unglued.
I know, I was there. Listen. Let him go.
No, don't let him go.
I know what you're doing. I dig a good word association and social experiment just as much as the next guy. Boots to asses, chant aside. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. I've been dealing with this my whole career. Forgive me if I'm regurgitating information, but I'd like to tell you firsthand. I'm going to tell you what they already know. There is a group of people who know who I am, know what I believe in, know what I stand for. And I am extremely loyal. I am extremely loyal to all of those people. But I also know that you can't please everybody. There's going to be some people that walk into a building, buy a ticket, and want to tell me to go to hell. That is what makes the WWE energy that you are talking about. It is that simple. They can do what they want.
No, you can do what you want, and they will allow you to. What you're doing is you're not caring it. You know what's happened? I'll tell you exactly what's happened. You ain't gonna like it either. You are the face of the WWE. You are the man. And the booing is getting louder.
I know,
and louder
I can hear it right now.
and louder. And you're using it. You're losing it. You are losing it. You know what's going to happen? If you don't suck it up and start telling these people exactly what you think, because this ain't Mick Foley's have a nice day stuff. This is Roddy's reality check. And if you don't tell them what you're thinking about them, you will be the loser of the biggest WrestleMania in history.
You know what? You're going a little overboard. You're a Hall of Famer. You've seen the show. I'll tell you what. Let me take you back to WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, where I faced Triple H. Oh, they loved me that night. Or better yet, how about the Hall of Fame induction ceremony the night before, dedicated to the late Eddie Guerrero, and I can't repeat the words that the audience said to me that night. Oh, speaking of Chicago, CM Punk, Money in the Bank, they loved me that night too. And I remember I had a TLC match with Edge in Toronto. Here's the kicker, this one's a great one. Hammerstein Ballroom, ECW's one night stand. Hot Rod, compared to all those nights, Madison Square Garden was a cakewalk.
Shut up!
No, wait!
That's enough!
No.
What?
Listen, it was New York being New York. People were having fun. They were excited to see The Rock. I'm a fan. I was excited to see The Rock. He did great. He had a great night. One great night. Look around you, man. See those two kids right in the front row? You see them? They're having the time of their lives. That's why I don't get faced. Hey, no. Just give me a second. I had 3 make-a-wishes today. I met 3 fantastic families that are here among this crowd, having the time of their lives. I look in the front row, I see members of our armed services having the time of their lives here tonight. I want you to do something. I want you to do something real quick before you fly off the handle. I want you to read this. This is why it'll never get to me. This is why I will never get rattled. And this is why I could walk into Miami April 1st, and if they like me, great. And if they hate me, whatever. But I still believe in myself. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. And I know I can beat The Rock at WrestleMania. That's energy.
That's energy. You know what I know? I know this. I came a long way to have you in Piper's Pit. And I'll tell you why. I know your whole career. I've watched the damn thing. I'm proud of you. It was my generation that passed the torch to you, and you rose the bar. Higher than we could ever think about it. I know that. Hang on. And I know The Rock comes one day. Yippee. Meanwhile, every day, John Cena is stepping up to the plate. Every day, John Cena is taking on all comers. Every day, John Cena is saying hi to our armed forces. Every day, hi to the little kids. Every day. How much energy can you tap into? Because I'll tell you something, I've seen it all, and I've done it all, and I have the jewelry to prove it. One more thing. Hold your paw out. It's a big hand. From a Hall of Famer to a future Hall of Famer. If you don't get this off your chest and get it right with these folks, Nush, you will be in denial, and it's going to kill your chances for everything you want to do.
With all due respect, this is a fine gesture, but you don't, I'm in a good place. You don't know what you're talking about.
You're in a good place? I'm going to help you win. Feel the energy! Do you feel the energy?
Okay, well, Piper's Pit but Cena on Piper's Pit, great fun segment there. It was actually 2011 because it was around the time he was against The Rock. Because I think it was between 2011 and 2012, because The Rock was about to go into WrestleMania 28 in 2012 against Cena. So that's what it was, because they talked about that on the segment. So it was 2011, 2012, early 2012, I believe. Cena on Piper's Pit. Great segment indeed. It was a lot of fun, that one, folks. All right, well, let's go now. Going to leave the segments and go to the section of the show where we talk about the figures. So I'm a collector. I collect a lot of old school wrestling stuff. I know it's a bit childish for somebody my age. I just turned 35 recently, but you know, it's a hobby. Everybody has hobbies. A lot of people stamp collect. A lot of people do loads of stuff. So I collect old school wrestlers, put them as ornaments. I don't play with them. I don't really play with them at all. Maybe if I'm doing nothing, bored or whatever, I might do something, but I don't. I just collect them and stand them, even have wee entrances and have the ring and everything. I just like to put them up as kind of ornaments in one of my tables. So that's fun. But we're going to have a look at the classic figures of Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan. So the next segment, I'm going to have a look at some of them. Enjoy. Okay, so you can see here my Saturday night's main event set, roughly put together, but that's what it looks like. It's pretty cool. Got this on eBay, and it's pretty cool. You also get lots of different cards, so you can make it any other, like challenge and primetime wrestling all on the board. But I've set it up like Saturday night's main event. You've got the big logo. I've got these two figures as well, two customs I got recently. Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Gorilla Monsoon. And there's the audience board as well. It's pretty cool. And then around here you have the interview area. There's the interview. I've got Mean Gene interviewing Hulk Hogan, which is one of our featured stars on the show today. So we're going to show you this Hulk Hogan figure. I think it was a Series 2 figure back in the day from the original Hasbro's. The other ones there you see are customs, by the way, so they're pretty cool customs. But the Hulk Hogan figure was the second Hogan figure, and just the Saturday night's main event set, so I thought I'd just show you that, which is pretty cool. Okay, so as we look at the ring here, I'm going to look at the first of the Series 1 Hogan figure, which is here somewhere. There it is. Oh, it's actually Series 3 Hogan figure from back in the day, from 1991, and that's actually my favourite Hogan figure of all of them. And there's, of course, there he is with the full bandana and that figure, and a WWF logo on the ring there. This was a retro ring, but I got a original WWF logo for it, which is cool. So that's the Series 3 Hogan figure. There you go. Then you've got the first of the Hogan figures from back in, that's kind of based on his 87 look when he fought Andre at WrestleMania 3, and it's actually his look, his first figure that they put out of Hulk Hogan from Hasbro put out of him. That was from Series 1 of the Hasbro series back in 1990, and that's a very popular one. A lot of people look at this as their favourite Hogan figure. The last one was mine, but yeah, that's all my Hogan figures there as part of the special feature on Hogan and Piper. Let's have a look at Piper now. Okay, so here is the Roddy Piper figure. It actually is Series 2 in the Hasbro series, and it's the only Roddy Piper figure that they brought out on the original Hasbro series. Of course, WWE have released him as a retro, along with Mr. T and Cowboy Bob Orton and Mean Gene in a special pack. No, that's the latest. It was out on the 28th of January there, I believe. But this Piper is awesome compared to that one. The new ones aren't great, but this figure is always one of my favorites, and it's a big one. I was actually surprised looking back now that they didn't make it a Series 1 because it was such a big name, but he had gone down in the card when it came to 1990 WWF. But definitely another favorite there, Roddy Piper, Series 2 Hasbro from back in the day. So there you go. That's all the Hogan and Piper figures in this section of the show. Okay, so you've seen some commentator customs earlier of Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon, along with the Saturday night's main event set. And of course, we've seen the Mean Gene Okerlund custom figure as well. Of course, there is a Mean Gene official figure out. WWE Mattel have released there, the retro series released, but it's not great compared to the one I showed you there, I don't think. But now we're going to feature a few customs, wrestler customs. The first one is a tag team, that was a very good tag team in WWF back in 1990 and 91, and it is Tanaka and Kato, and it is, of course, the Orient Express. Of course, Sato was another original member of the Orient Express, but this is the, of course, they were known as Paul Diamond and Pat Tanaka in AWA and later in ECW as Bad Company, but they came to WWF and became managed by Mr. Fuji. I've got a Mr. Fuji custom as well. Haven't got him right here at the minute, but I'll show you him in a later show. But this is Tanaka, Pat Tanaka, and Kato, and they were known as the Orient Express. Great tag team, and one of my favorite custom tag teams. These are made by Matthew Durrell, by the way, over there in England. He makes a lot of great customs, and I like to feature his stuff on my shows here on Keosters Wrestling Primetimes, Keosters WrestleFest. So that is the Orient Express. Great matches with the Rockers back in the day at WrestleMania 6 and Royal Rumble 91. Great stuff indeed. Another custom, one that I got, and it was made by, I believe it was Matthew Durrell again. And it is the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor, a very lower card star. Of course, was in a lot of the big events back in the late 80s and early 90s. Later became Terrific Terry Taylor, and then became the Tailor-Made Man Terry Taylor in WCW. But his most famous iteration was the Red Rooster, which he pulled off pretty well. But remember, Mr. Perfect could have been the Red Rooster. They were considering either Kurt Hennig or this guy, Terry Taylor, for the Red Rooster, or Mr. Perfect. It went the other way, but I think they went the right way, because I think this guy pulled this off pretty well, and Perfect, obviously, Kurt Hennig was awesome as Mr. Perfect, so it was a good idea. The gimmick wasn't great, but he made the most of it, and got a few good matches out of it as well. So, Terry Taylor, the Red Rooster, another one of the customs, and looks pretty good. There you go. There you go. Okay, so going to have a little look at Mean Gene Okerlund custom made by Richard Turner. Big shout out to Richard Turner, another custom maker over there in England. And of course, Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon, who has a headset and sunglasses as well, but I can't seem to find them. But he looks cool with them on. But very, very authentic looking, these guys in as customs. Looks even better with the Saturday Night's Main Event background there. But all made by Richard Turner, by the way. Very good, very well done, and impressive. So, good stuff there. Really good feet. They are pretty good customs, and I enjoy collecting them the odd time. Try not to this year. Haven't bought any this year, actually, so far. So, going to try and keep that up for a while. And then maybe a special occasion to get a couple. But I've got a good collection at the moment, so it's pretty cool. These guys are awesome. Well, that was the last part of the show tonight. I hope you enjoyed Keosters Wrestling Primetimes here on YouTube and CKTV. Really fun bringing you the lineup there, featuring Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan. On my next episode, I will be looking at some old WCW era stuff, and be looking at some NWO clips and segments, and also I'll be looking at some WCW stuff where we've seen some Roddy Piper and Ultimate Warrior make their debuts. So that's all coming up on my next episode of Keosters Wrestling Primetimes, Keosters WrestleFest on CKTV here on YouTube. And it's a lot of fun bringing it to you guys. Take it easy, and have a superplex day and a turnbuckle tomorrow.
me what I should do, who I should be. I got some kind of advice. I finally had to say, stand back, stand back. They never understood the kind of man I am. I do my own thinking, got a lot of big plans. Stand back. Stand back. Stand back. All of you who want to bring me down, I have you. Stand in my way. I promise you will lose. Stand back. Stand back. Stand back. Stand back. I never will be just an ordinary guy. I always push harder, reaching for the sky. Stand back. Stand back. That's a fact. Stand back. I'm a man running wild, headed for the top.